On this edition of News Team Boulder for October 14, 2021, will the King Soopers shooting suspect stand trial? The war on student parking, a scramble for student housing on the Hill, and finally, newly collected moon rocks leave more questions than answers. Last week, we reported on the lowered crime rates on CU Boulder's campus. This week, we have many more breaking stories regarding violence and safety in Boulder County. Hello and welcome to News Team Boulder. I'm Faye Callahan. Doctors have deemed the suspect in the Boulder King Soopers shooting incompetent to stand trial, but prosecutors have asked for a second evaluation. Ahmed Ali Alyssa, the primary suspect in the Boulder King Soopers shooting from this past March, has been deemed by court-ruled doctors to be unfit to stand trial. The 21-year-old attorney suggested early on that he may not be able to contribute to his own defense. After this was brought to light, Boulder Chief Judge Ingrid Backey ordered an immediate psych evaluation on Alyssa. The results concluded that his superficial responses to hypothetical legal situation indicated a potential over-reliance on his attorneys. Boulder District Attorney Office responded by filing a motion asking for another evaluation. The judge has not yet responded to the prosecutor's request. However, if Alyssa is ruled unable to stand trial again, the case will be put on hold until he is deemed competent to stand. The suspect will remain in custody. A postal worker was shot dead in Longmont Wednesday afternoon, and his ex-girlfriend was arrested on suspicion of first-degree murder. The woman was identified as 26-year-old Devin Schreiner and is being held in custody at the Longmont Police Department. The postman has not yet been identified, but he was delivering mail at the time and died at the scene. Residents of the neighborhood saw a suspect fleeing, which issued a shelter-in-place order on nearby homes and schools. An investigation is still underway, but police say they believe that this shooting was an isolated incident. CU Boulder's Center for the Study and Prevention of Violence and the CU Boulder Police Department are collaborating on a 2-year project aimed at violence prevention and education. The collaboration was awarded a $1.2 million grant from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security.
The goal of the project over the next 2 years will be to develop video messaging that could potentially be played at football games and other places to mass audiences, as well as some social media messaging, just to help people better understand our resources and our process for reporting behaviors of concern.
With the initiative already funded, we could see this campaign's social media and mass messaging as early as next fall. The Boulder County Board of Health met Monday to discuss the mask mandate that was implemented in early September to help curb COVID levels from rising after school started in August. A representative from the Boulder County Public Health said the odds of a COVID-19 outbreak are 3.5% higher in schools where there is no mask mandate. They also added that the COVID-19 case numbers in Colorado are elevated for kids 6 to 11 years old. The county's Board of Health concluded that they still stand by their decision to keep masks mandated for all residents, especially children. A U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics report shows a shocking decline in the leisure and hospitality industry. News Team's Jessica McCauley has her story.
Unless you live under a rock, chances are that you've seen some signs that look like these all around the city of Boulder. With a quick Google search, it's easy to see that several restaurants in Boulder are looking to take on new staffers immediately. Like these businesses, Backcountry Pizza, located on Arapahoe Avenue, is also urgently hiring.
I imagine that they're trying to find a few more servers, a few more hosts, and a few more expos, but I think that mostly they're trying to find back of house people that will stick around, learn the menu, and sort of get to know the system a little bit better.
The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics reported in September that employment levels in the leisure and hospitality industry were down by 1.6 million, which translates to 9.4% since February of 2020.
It's not so much that I'm overworked, it's just that maybe the upper levels are overworked because they don't have enough people to come and fill in the cracks that they would like to. Weekends can be pretty busy if CU plays a football game or something.
With a booming business and
we have 12 in the front of house and we've got only like 8 in the back of house.
A short staff, it can be stressful when higher-ups in the hospitality and leisure industry are working over 26 hours on average in overtime each week.
DoorDash does, I would say, help boost business. It's not a huge favorite for the servers or anyone who works in the front of house because we don't get any money off of it really, and we just have to go get the food for the drivers who then take it and get their money off of it. But it is still very helpful to have like just constant orders coming through because someone's always wanting to order online.
However, even if business is going good, restaurants are still looking to secure a broader staff. So all Liam has left to say is,
but everyone's awesome here and we all like to hang out and stuff. We have a pretty good vibe.
And of course,
come work at Backcountry Pizza.
Coming up after the break, CU Boulder students detail the hardships that come with parking on campus. And later, a China space mission returns samples of moon rocks, and CU Boulder is involved. Parking in Colorado is expensive, and parking violations are a common infraction among drivers. College students that park on campus are also getting parking citation. News Team's Anieli Villalobos has that story.
CU Boulder is one of the biggest schools in Colorado. With more than 30,000 students, parking is always an issue.
We usually write about 60,000 notifications a year, of which half of those are warnings and half of those are tickets because we give you a warning first. So there's about 60,000 of those.
CU Boulder citations rates are almost 4 times more expensive than the ones from the city of Boulder, and 2 or 3 times higher than the ones from other universities in the state.
I think that we shouldn't even get tickets, honestly, because we all pay so much money to go here, and like we all contribute to CU being the place that it is. And a lot of us are just parking here literally just because we need to go to class or we need to go to the library or whatever. So I don't think they should really hand out tickets. I feel like the only reason that a ticket should be handed out is like if you're here for like 3 days and you don't pay for it. But like if you're like 30 minutes over, like I feel like that's like kind of overdramatic, but that's just my opinion.
Getting tickets is not funny, but not being able to park at school might be worse.
Oh, you guys are mean. You gave me a ticket. Were you parked legally? No. Well, then we weren't mean. We're just enforcing rules. It's all about, so all we're trying to do, both city and CU, is have people follow our rules. And why ours is so much more is we're trying to get people not to, we are very limited on parking. We run out of parking every day. So we don't want people, and the last thing we can do is have people not pay, therefore people can't park. Because if you're a student and you come up to park and there's no parking, you can't go to school.
Avoid any tickets, pay on time, buy a parking permit, and download the app so you can add money anytime, anywhere, to avoid any kind of parking violations. Park Mobile is easy to download and completely free.
Buy a permit and park legal.
Contact CU Boulder Parking Services if you have a clean record of parking violations so they can void or reduce your citation.
It may be midterms, but it is also a critical time for students to find housing on the Hill. News Team's Catherine Zamora tells us more.
As we head into October, students are already trying to find off-campus housing for the upcoming academic school year. But as upperclassmen know, it's not as easy as it sounds. With average rent prices being higher than the national average, students struggle to find affordable, convenient, and safe-to-live-in housing.
I think if you don't have support in Boulder to help you with rent, I think it's really hard to live comfortably here.
There are a lot of ways to help manage the stress of finding new housing. The Office of Off-Campus Housing and Neighborhood Relations can help you find leases and even offer legal advice. But don't worry, there's also a housing fair on October 28th. For more information, head over to colorado.edu/offcampus.
And coming up, snow on the horizon? How will the weather treat us this family weekend? Kaylee Elkin will give us the details.
Hey Buffs, here's your weather report. In Boulder, it seems to be cooling down this week. There is a cold front moving in. Today's weather is a high of 50 degrees and a low of 32. It is mostly cloudy with an 82% humidity. Rain showers will be developing this afternoon with a 40% chance of rain. And there's a possibility of some snow flurries at night. The winds are coming from the north to northeast here in Colorado. According to the radar map, you could see the morning there is a rain and snowstorm moving from west to east across the whole state. Many cities along the I-70, including Newcastle and Glenwood Springs, will be heavily affected by the storm. The National Weather Service issued a freeze warning throughout north central and northeast Colorado. This is in effect from midnight tonight until 9 a.m. Friday. Now on to the national weather forecast. There are some unsettled weather conditions for the central part of the U.S. today. The cold in the west and the warmth in the east will shift eastward, heading toward the weekend. The showers and a few thunderstorms will continue for portions of central U.S. today. Meanwhile, above normal temperatures are expected the eastern part of the U.S., with below normal temperatures for parts of the Rockies into the central and northern plains. Elsewhere, dry weather and fire weather concerns are forecast for portions of California. The intense low pressure system that has brought heavy snow and high winds across the northern central Rockies into the high plains is getting ready to depart into southern Canada. You can see there's another low pressure system forming over the southern high plains across the western U.S. showers, and thunderstorms are expected to form ahead of the system, with the best chance of these thunderstorms to become severe later on Friday across the Ohio Valley. Also, there is ample tropical moisture associated with former Hurricane Pamela surging into the southern plains that will continue to create an environment for thunderstorms with intense downpours. Several inches of rain are possible between south central Texas and southeast Oklahoma, as well as western parts of Arkansas and the Mississippi Valley. Today, the southern high plains will see a new low pressure system forming. The moisture from the west is expected to spread high elevation snows across the Intermountain region and onto the central Rockies for today and into tonight. By Friday, a strengthening high pressure system will bring drier and colder than normal conditions across the vast majority of the west. The exception will be near the Pacific Northwest coast, where a stream of Pacific moisture will bring persistent rain into the region. You can expect for the weekend forecast more warm temperatures. There is a 40% chance of rain for this afternoon and possible snow showers tonight with a low of 32. However, tomorrow is the start of the weekend and temperatures will rise. There will be a high of 56 degrees and tomorrow a low of 34. Saturday, we will see even more high temperatures with a high of 67 degrees and a low of 40. Moving into Sunday, temperatures will continue to rise with a high of 71 degrees and a low of 40. The sun will be out the entire weekend, but as we move into Monday, it will be partly cloudy with a high of 70 degrees and a low of 39. The AQI, or the Air Quality Index in Boulder, is 14, which means it is excellent air quality to go outside and enjoy the chilly weekend. Make sure to take advantage of this fall weather before winter comes. CU Boulder released the best way to get out in nature and enjoy the fall season. If you want to see the beautiful leaves of the season, Boulder Creek Path and the peak-to-peak scenic and historic byway is a perfect place to enjoy this view. But if you are unsure of why the leaves look the way that they do and want to know why, NewsTeam's Georgia Rowell tells us more on why this happens.
Around this time every year, we start to see the leaves change color all around us. Why does this happen, you might be wondering? Orange and yellow colors of leaves occur as a result of chemical processes that take place in trees between season changes. During the summer, a tree's leaves get their green color from the chemical chlorophyll that's in their cells. Chlorophyll absorbs energy from sunlight, transforming it into carbohydrates which feed the tree. During the summer, yellow and orange pigments are present in the leaf's genetic makeup, but they're masked by green chlorophyll. In the fall, leaves stop their food-making process when daylight shortens and temperatures drop. As a result, the chlorophyll breaks down and the leaves' colors switch from green to yellow or orange.
Coming up after the break, a CU planetary scientist is taking the first ever look at 2 confetti-sized pieces of moon rock samples. A China mission returned samples of moon rocks for the first time in 45 years, and in a just-released analysis, these rocks could change the way we look at the moon. CU planetary scientist Caroline Crow is a member of the team of scientists from all over the world who get to have the first look at the 2 confetti-sized samples. These samples are about 2 billion years old, which is much younger than those brought back by the Apollo astronauts. Scientists hope that these rocks will create a better timeline of when the moon was hit by asteroids and comets. But these rocks are raising more questions than answers. Lunar geologists believe the moon ceased being geologically active well before 2 billion years ago, but some regions appear to have become geologically active more recently, at least for a short time. The team's analysis also suggests that impacts by asteroids and comets might have happened at a lower rate than scientists believe. Crow and her colleagues say they're working very hard to get a multi-million-dollar equipment for CU Boulder to do similar tests. This would make CU one of the rare institutions in the U.S. that would be a one-stop shop for dating moon rocks. That's it from us at News Team Boulder. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at NewsTeamBoulder. Thanks for joining us. I'm Faye Callahan. See you next time.